Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Thursday to you, wherever you're joining us from. Thanks for joining us live. We are live here. And if you're joining us on the replay, big hello to our friends there as well. And, happy Thursday to you. It's been a really crazy week. A special welcome to our friends at Modern Mom as well. And as a reminder, we're also going live on Amazon Live today. So as something that you want to do is also open up another tab. Check us up on Amazon Live and follow the show along. It's a really fun process. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Loop with Winnie and Greg. I'm Winnie Sun, longtime financial pro, CNBC Council member, Forbes contributor, and host of Level Up as well, which can also be found here, as well as NASDAQ and Amazon Fire and many other places. Joining me today, though, is someone I look forward to seeing every single week, and that's the one and only my buddy, the hippest Amazon guru, I said tech guru on the planet, the one and only Greg Nibbler. Hey, Greg, how's it going?
It's going well. That is quite the sell. I don't know about the hippest, but I'll take it. I'll take it for this show. Hello, everybody. I'm Greg Nibbler. If this is your first time watching, I'm a longtime tech expert, reporter, covering all kinds of things. And like when he said, Amazon is definitely a big topic this week. We're going to be getting into some of the new hardware they announced. It seems like every week right now is a great time for tech because we have all these companies coming out with new hardware. It was Amazon's this week. We're going to talk about a robot. We're going to talk about drones. All that's coming up, but I definitely want to hear what everybody else has to say too, what you're excited about. We're also going to cover what to watch in October because it's a big time for streaming content and there's a lot coming out. So we want to hear what your favorites are for that too. But all that's coming up. But we always start the show off with Winnie filling us in on what's going on in the world of finances. And I know it's been a crazy time. It seems like anyway. I'm not the expert, but just by what I've been reading over this last week. Winnie, what's been happening?
Greg, I feel like one of these days I should have you lead on the financial discussion because you get to talk about the really cool stuff that I love to stay. Sure that we do have sound there. Are we good now, Vicky? Can you hear us? Hopefully you can hear us. All right. Well, let me see. Let me just make sure because I want to make sure that everything is set up accordingly. We are good. Okay. So let's start with how the market closed. The market closed, the Dow was down 546 points today. The NASDAQ closed down 63 points today. And the S&P closed down 51 points as well. This is actually a pretty bummer of a month, if you will. In some ways, I'm really glad today is the last day of the month. But as you know, it's coming to a close. This is how the market closed. The Dow actually was started off a little bit better. It was down over 400 points earlier today. And it's going for, the title of the worst stock market performance month of the year. So September was pretty awful. Stocks have been extremely choppy this month because we're dealing with a whole plethora of issues like the ongoing pandemic with the Delta variant, high inflation expectations, rising bond yields, rising mortgage rates, reduced GDP expectations, and the pace of economic recovery is obviously muted, and a lot of labor issues, not to mention the, America's debt ceiling issue. And then, of course, China has a whole slew of corporate debt issues as well. So so many issues, but I'm going to unmute us again here. All right. So Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said that yesterday that he expects inflation to ease eventually, but that he sees the current economic pressures to keep running into 2022. So inflation isn't going to improve in the near future. It was reported on CNBC that a panel discussion hosted by the European Central Bank, Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell also said that he was quite frustrated about people not wanting to get vaccinated, and that the spread of the COVID Delta variant remains, quote unquote, remains the most important economic policy that we have right now. So until those things go away, until COVID sort of gets in our rear mirror here, it's still going to look pretty choppy in the financial market. So that's what we're looking at. But here's the other thing that I want you to be paying attention to is you may have heard that they were concerned about government shutdown. The government shutting down, in fact, today, this was the deadline. Now, the good news is it looks like we're going to avoid that process. The U.S. government, both the Senate and the House did clear a measure today, keeping the government funded sort of in the last minute. They always seem to do this on last minute. So crazy. It's like they can't make a decision. It's almost like for drama, Greg. It's like they right. don't want to, give us good news until that happens. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. But the bill now heads to President Biden's desk. He's expected to sign it, of course. But do you know this is a Band-Aid because this is just short-term continuing resolution passed by the Senate 65 to 35. Because if we don't make changes, now we'll be able to keep open, the U.S. government, that is, keep open until December 3rd. Those people that receive checks from the U.S. government will receive checks until December 3rd, at which point we're going to have to go through this drama all over one more time. So a lot of things happening, On another news, and it's probably the last bit of news before we get into fun stuff. The last bit of news is this, and I'm curious to see those of you who are joining us. We see CrossX Fighter, we see Joshua on YouTube Live. Thank you so much, my friend, for being here. Sadiq, YouTube Live. How are you, buddy? It's great to see you. Vicky is joining us on Facebook Live and being very helpful and telling people that telling me whether or not you can hear me okay. But here's what we do know. And Vicky, I'm curious to see what you think about this because you're joining us on Facebook. Do you think that Facebook can create a platform for kids and teens that ensures, they say ensures that our platform is having the most positive impact possible? This is according to Zuckerberg's team. They say Facebook, Instagram for kids, teens, that's going to be a very positive thing. Curious to see what you think about this. I'm really curious, Greg. I don't know. Let's hand it over to you. What do you think about this? Do you feel like social media has added value to your life in a positive way?
I mean, it's that's such a hard question to answer. I mean, yes, in some aspects. I mean, we're broadcasting on social media right now. I love that kind of connection, but there's so many negatives too. And I can't imagine, being a kid growing up with it. I didn't grow up with social media, so I avoided that. There's so many pitfalls on it. And I think what it comes down to is Facebook, the most trustworthy source to trust that they're going to be able to put in measures that are going to, keep kids safe or make it a more pleasant platform to be on. I don't know. I don't know if their track record really allows them to be trusted on that for right now, but I can certainly see why it's a huge concern for parents out there to try to figure out, how you can, because obviously it's not going away. None of this is going away. It's all going to be there. But how do you mitigate some of those issues, mental health issues that happen on there? And there's so much that can come, so much negativity that can come from all those platforms, particularly Instagram and Facebook. So I think definitely something needs to happen. Whether or not it's really going to be successful, I got to wait until I see it. Wait till you see what they do, because I just don't necessarily have the trust in it.
I hear you, Greg. I agree with you. I mean, obviously we're streaming, like you said, on social media. It's been great for your business and my business. It's been fantastic. But like you said, the social aspect, there was a price that we had to pay for all this. And yeah. Oh, and don't know if it, I don't know. Remember, Greg, before social media, it was a long time ago, but life wasn't that terrible back then.
No, it was.
We didn't have COVID.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But it's not going anywhere. So this is how it is. But yeah, we'll have to see what kind of changes they make, if it's actually going to make any kind of a difference. I'm definitely curious to what people watching think about that. Particularly, I'm not a parent, so I don't have to face a lot of those issues or see them head on, the things that kids have to deal with. But I'm sure it's just a tremendous stress for a lot of people, dealing with that side of things.
Yeah, well, Vicky is saying, safe space for children and safeguarding issue is a big thing. And Sadiq is also sharing that Facebook also has a dating platform. I didn't know this. But interesting to see. I do know Facebook, you can sell a lot of your unwanted goods in marketplace, but I know about that. But Greg, I know you have a lot of tech news for us today. I'm so excited because I saw your list. So you want to jump in? Yeah,
let's do it. So as like every week now, as I was saying in the beginning, we're getting a different hardware release. It seems like everybody's taking their turn. We have Microsoft, you had Samsung, you had Apple, and now it's Amazon this week with their new hardware. And this is something they do usually around this time every year. They release updates or some new products or some crazy things. And we got a little bit of all of that this week. And so the first one I wanted to highlight is the new Echo Show. So this is the show is the actual screen that works with Alexa. Sorry if I said everything off, but it works with that. And this is something that they've been putting out for a few years now. It's a pretty cool device, but the way that they've changed it now, they want it to be really the hub of your smart home. And the way that works is you can now mount it on the wall. It's a 15-inch screen, so it's the Echo Show 15. It's not the 15th version. It's 15 because of the size of the screen. You can mount it on the wall. It's got a stand. You can set it on a table, and you can do a bunch of different cool things that you could do before with it. Like a lot of it, they're highlighting maybe put in the kitchen so you can follow along with recipes or cooking shows. Yeah, that's a pretty cool use. It's got a lot of different streaming services now integrated into it, so you can use it almost as a second television. Some other kind of neat aspects. Well, I guess I say neat, but neat as far as the tech side. Whether this is something people want, I don't know. And that would be something to ask people, is you can personalize it now. So it'll have a visual ID on it to where you can match it up with, say you have a few people in the house. It will see who it is and have a custom screen for that person and tailored to what they want to see when it turns on. So it can know that and know who different people are in the house, which is, I think that, like I said, the tech side's pretty cool. Whether that's something that people feel comfortable with, I don't know. The fact that they know so much, but I mean, it's just kind of the way that it's going with this. So this is the Echo Show 15. I thought it was a pretty cool product. What do you think about that?
Well, Greg, I love that you put this up because, for those of you who are joining us live, just as I mentioned, what you might want to do is just open up a second tab and you can see where we're sharing the link where we're going live on Amazon Live right now. Definitely take a look. This device that Greg is talking about, well, I'll tell you, when Greg first pointed this out to me, I thought it was really cool. For me, it reminds me of like a big iPad. It looks like an iPad that you would mount in your house. I guess what they're trying to do is bring in all those smart features, Greg, that you've always taught us about, and just really bring you more into the Amazon ecosystem, which I've heard you talk about as well. I don't know, it's interesting because I've had the Amazon Kindle. Obviously, I use the iPad as well. This will be really, I love the way it looks. I think it's really seamless. It'd be really cool on my wall. Not sure where I would put it. But I do love the fact that it can control things that you're talking about, like sharing recipes in the kitchen, but also, taking care of my Alexa devices and really giving us a really affordable, but really strong and powerful smart home system. So yeah, I'm all for this. I really love that you brought this to our attention because, to be honest, I didn't even know that this existed yet. So super cool. Well, let me ask you, Greg, would you, I guess you would post this in your kitchen, right?
Yeah, that's probably where I would. I did like that idea of having something, although I don't really have a wall to put it on in my kitchen, but I'd have to figure that out. But yeah, the idea would be to put it in there just for that, having a second screen there. The other thing, though, too, is it being this hub, because that's really what they want. They want it to be, something that will connect, like you mentioned, that whole ecosystem of Amazon products. That includes Ring products, security products. And soon, a lot of those other devices from other companies will work together too. There's new protocols that are going to be coming out. So you may eventually be able to hook up, if you have Google Home devices, wrap those into it as well. That we're not quite there yet, but at some point, those things will start talking to each other. So that's kind of what I think they're trying to get a jump on, is like they want to be, this is where you go to manage everything if you want to have it all connected, and it's a nice screen that you can have for that. So that's what I think they're trying to get a jump on from everybody else.
So this is not a carry around sort of tablet thing then, Greg. I mean, it looks like, they're looking at like a wall mounted thing. I will be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of watching my recipes on my tablet. I like having it printed out. So because I tend to like make a mess on my recipe. I like the idea of being able to throw that away or recycle it. Because, it's like, then you're like, especially when you're trying to find all your ingredients, then you got to keep going back and then like wake up the screen. Hopefully they fix this. But I see this on screen. We've included this on our Amazon live stream right now. So all the things that Greg is sharing are going to be here. What I would suggest is just click on it, take a look, see what you think. I think it's a pretty cool looking device. To be honest with you, Greg, until you told me right now that this is like the size of it, I actually thought it was another TV. I'm like, oh wow, Greg showed us a really nice looking, affordable TV.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, again, you can use it for that too. So it
can be a TV too.
Yeah. You can watch. I mean, you can stream things on it. So you've got. I don't know if all services are on it yet, but I think quite a bit are. There's always negotiations with that stuff, but you can definitely, check out a lot of content on there as well. So it's a pretty utilitarian, device. You can use it for a lot of different things. But yeah, let me know what people think.
Yeah, Greg. You know what? Vicky plans to post this thing in her bathroom. Hey, there you go. You could be. We're gonna. Vicky, you want to say to the end of the show because we got a lot of stuff to put on your radar in terms of streaming. You might be able to have this Echo in your bathroom, this 15-inch really cool thing, and be streaming. I mean, she could be binging right in the
restroom. They just need a waterproof version, so you can put it in the shower. I mean, there's all kinds of things. I think that.
That would be a really long shower, Greg.
Yeah, I know. It's probably not very good environmentally, wasting water watching television in the shower.
Yeah, I don't know. Oregon, you're in Oregon. I'm in California. I don't think our local governments would be too happy about that.
That's very true. Yeah. So never mind. Don't take that suggestion. So the Echo Show, 15. That was one of the big ones. There's a lot of things they did announce today over this hardware announcement, but there's two more things I really wanted to highlight. There were some updates to the Echo devices. There's some updates, some partnerships with Disney that are going on, and new features coming for the smart home devices. But there's a couple of things that were some surprises, and one of them has to do with a robot. So we know that Amazon's been secretly working on a robot for a while. That one was rumored to be called Vesta. It might have even been like an actual walking, Android type of robot. Probably not, but that's what some of the rumors were. We didn't get that, but we did get a robot of sorts, and it's an Alexa-enabled robot called Astro. There it is right there.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's got the screen, the kind of cartoony robot eyes, so it actually has a face on it when it's rolling around. That screen will also turn into a video camera, so it's kind of like an Echo Show on that. So you can actually have conversations with people with the video camera as they're demonstrating right here. And then you can also speak to it. So it's completely autonomous. It moves on its own. It maps out your house. If anybody's had like a robot vacuum, how that learns, what the house is and where everything's at. This kind of does along those lines, just a little more advanced. So it knows the entire layout. You can tell it to follow you or tell it to go to certain places. And you can, have it go there, like right here. If you're having this conversation, the screen will move around and follow you as you talk to somebody. So it's pretty advanced on that. And they're saying this thing can also be used for security. So it's demonstrated in one of those videos where you hear this glass break and then this rolls around, and then we'll hook up with Ring basically. So it's a security camera, so you can see what's going on wherever you're at. You can check and see if one thing they highlighted is, and I'm guilty of this. I get paranoid of whether I locked the door or not, or whether I left the stove on. And they use that for part of it, where you can have it go check the stove, and you can then see if you left anything on. So it's got a lot of things to it. It's going to be interesting to see what the adoption rate is on this. Right now, you do have to apply. It's invite only. Eventually, this will roll out to a lot of people. It's $1,000, so it's not a cheap item. But I want to know if this is something that people would be interested in, or conversely, if it's something that they don't want a robot that can roll around and video you.
Well, Greg, I see CrossX Fighters giving a happy face on live and on YouTube. And, I want to say that I see a lot of people right now on Amazon Live joining us. Take a look at it. I'm curious. You can see it. We posted it in our Amazon Live right now. Go ahead and click at it. Take a look at it, because one thing I'd be curious to see, if you click it, you can actually see that first off, it looks like there's definitely some exclusivity to this. This is not inexpensive item. I guess there's free returns on it. But what I always think is interesting with Amazon is too, if you click on this one here, it also will show you some other options and tools and accessories. But I like I do have a question, Greg, that I would love to learn from you on this. Is this, you see that video where there's a kid sitting there on the carpet talking to like grandma or somebody, right?
Mhm.
So like, I understand like on iPhone and iPads right now, it would be using FaceTime. How does that work on this device? Like, how do they call?
Yeah, that is a really good question, actually, of what they're incorporating in for that. I would imagine Zoom is incorporated in. I would guess FaceTime is not. I would need to take a look and see what it is, what kind of platforms they have for it, what programs you can put in there, since it is so new. I'm gonna guess they'll have, like I said, probably not FaceTime, but probably some of the other ones that you would be able to call into. Probably Zoom integration, but I don't know for sure. That's a really great question on what they
Yeah,
use
I'm
for
really
that.
curious because I think,
Yeah.
like to make, I mean, the idea of having a little doggy robot running around the house right now, I think for most households is a luxury item they're probably not going to jump on as
Yeah.
fast as they would the Echo that you just talked about, or the other devices that you're going to share. But this thing, I think that when we're looking at technology, especially on a bigger investment like this, right, with our phone, which you talked about last week, we're
Hmm.
looking for um, a little bit of longevity on these products, right? That's something that we can see ourselves using a little bit longer than the next 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So it's not just an impulse buy, that it's something that we can live with. I would love to see if this thing would vacuum too, how you
Right.
have do a little bit more than just run around. And I mean, the security camera thing is cool, but I would guess that most households don't need sort of security in their house so much, or
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong, maybe they do, but I'm thinking most don't. And of course, let's not forget that this thing needs to be charged. So like, I'm sure it doesn't charge itself. You got to make sure
It
it's
does.
charged. It
It'll
does.
actually, yeah, it's got a docking station, so it'll go back and charge itself when it needs
That's
charged.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it will do that. But I think that's a great idea. Adding in some vacuum capabilities, make it a robot vacuum at
Household
the same
robot.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a bunch of different functions in there for it. Yeah. It's, $1,000. So it's not like you
Yeah.
said, this isn't something that people are just going to jump into. And is it still going to be viable a year from now? Will there
Hmm.
be something else that comes out? Are you going to get that much dollar out of it? I like the fact that they're experimenting with stuff like this, though. I mean,
I
just
love
seeing
that
what
idea.
can be done. Whether people want
Hmm.
it, that's another question. But
That's another thing is, Greg, do you ever worry about like, well, see, you have this like little robot dog running around, it's really cute and stuff. You get
mhm,
used to it. Do you ever worry that it's like recording what you're talking about or what you're doing? That's
yeah,
gotta be like anytime you have something like that. Look at it's even monitoring your stove, which is kind of cool,
yeah,
from a safety standpoint. But then you kind of wonder like, what if someone were to hack in that thing?
yeah, yeah.
You definitely wouldn't feel comfortable having in your company when you're working around.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something I think a lot of people are concerned with when it comes to security of these, because in the past, some of these have been hacked before. There's been well documented issues of that. You know, they've certainly beefed up the security on a lot of those and on how people get in. But the more security you build, the more hackers can also learn to get around things. So it's why it's this constant battle between the two. So yeah, I totally understand if somebody wouldn't feel comfortable having a video camera following you around, following around your house. So it's something that people would have to be comfortable on that end as well. So you've got that, and again, it's called the Astro robot. And Amazon every year throws out some interesting products just to see if people want them. They've had a clock before. They had a smart microwave that I think you can still get, and even there was something called, I think it was called the Loop. Actually, it was a ring, a smart ring that you could wear that would be dialed in. So this one's certainly the biggest experiment that they've got out there. But yeah, so the Astro robot is what we've got. But talking about security on that side of things, there is another product that we had seen before that now is finally going to be coming out. And it has to do with Ring, which, in case people don't know, Amazon owns Ring. They bought them a couple of years ago. And so they're constantly further integrating all those products into the Amazon hardware as well, which is why you see combo products a lot. But this one is a drone security camera. It's called the Always Home Cam. And it is the newest thing from Ring that integrates with all your other stuff. And it really is a drone that will take off fly around your place and check on things. So it's has this base station. It's got a camera on it. They said the camera doesn't. Yeah, I know, right? Look at this thing flying around.
It's like,
The,
what?
yeah. So they said the camera doesn't turn on until it goes. It takes off. You can walk around with it like that. It'll map out your place. If same kind of thing with the, if there's a window breaking or something, this will take off this drone and fly over there, and you can tap in and see what it is that it's looking at. And this is the new product they've been pushing for a while. What do you think of this?
Okay, this is part of that list of things that I don't know that I really need, but it's pretty cool. I added this. This is also on our Amazon Live show, so you can see it and check it out. Definitely click around. I think it's really fun to click around these things. But I probably would go with the dog over this. But I know this is sort of like I can get on a waiting list or something like that, right? To get this device. But
right now,
yeah, right now. Because I saw it's on our list, but you can click on it and you can get on the wait list if you want to and just check around. But I would say that like this and the dog, people spend a lot of money on smart home devices, especially for security devices. So, and I know a lot of people like to be early adopters on this new technology. I mean, the financial heart of me is just saying like, I love the concept, but I'm keeping my wallet to myself right now. This is an era I think we should definitely watch and continue to follow. I love this idea is, like for example, I have clients and friends that own investment property, vacation homes, short-term rentals, maybe have something like that, so you can use it when you need to. If you're not close to your property, you can kind of, monitor your property so you feel good that it's still there and whatnot. But I definitely think this is not something I want in my own house. I could just see the kids tipping this over, and this is probably something. You know what though? I don't know. Maybe okay. Here's the thing, Greg. Let's talk about this. I know you've got a dog at home. When you're away, this actually wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't like when I have my dog. I'd always worry about him whenever I left the house. So I would totally use this to check up on my dog. But what do you think?
Yeah. Well, see, I think checking on the dog would be good, but also what's a pet going to do when it sees this thing flying around?
Oh, like that's going to freak out.
I can just imagine a cat knocking this thing right out of the air, tackling this thing. So it's that will be, that's one of the factors I think I would look at is how long it's going to last. But I think to your point too, like maybe a vacation home or a home that you're not going to be around that often. There's that idea. If you really are always concerned about your house, then, this is another aspect you can put in for security. But yeah, if you're at home frequently, I don't really see myself using it that much, but, or it would just add into more paranoia and then I'd constantly be checking it.
Okay. Maybe here's but here's something we could do, Greg. What if, okay. Now I'm thinking, right, this could work. What if you have elderly parents that are like, far, not that close to you, and you just want to check up on them, right? And you, of course, you have to give them, they have to be comfortable with this. Right. But you could be like, where'd mom go? Like, I gotta check and find out where mom is, and you can go to the backyard and see she's okay. Maybe that would be okay.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. That's also another point with the Astro robot that they mentioned. That I forgot to bring up was that to check in, if you have some elderly family members or somebody who's not as mobile and you just want to be able to tap in and just make sure everybody's okay. That's another way. So I like that kind of use case for it as well. This is one that I think before I adopt it, I want to see somebody else with it. And then I'm afraid once I see it actually in person, I'm going to be like, okay, no, I want that just because it's a new toy. But that's for a different reason than actually using it. It's just because, it's a drone that'll fly around and it'd be a cool party trick. But it's something that they're coming out with. They've been talking about it for a while. And I think we're going to see more and more things like this, especially as drone technology gets better. Cameras are better. All this kind of integrated tech is getting better. So it's going to be, I think this is just kind of the first of what's going to be multiple versions or iterations of something like this. I don't think this is the last drone security camera that we're going to see that's going to be flying around the house. I think we're getting more.
I hope nobody trips on it. I think that'll be good. We'll they have to make sure nobody can trip on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So there we go. So those are some of the highlights that I wanted to bring up from the Amazon hardware event, just the new cutting edge tech, the new Echo Show. And there is a lot more. So if you're watching us live on Amazon, they've got an entire section showcasing all the new products. So you can go there, take a look at that, and follow along and see if there's some updates that you want to get from your own stuff. There's going to be more things coming out, more updates rolling out over the fall as well. So your devices are going to get, in theory, smarter. The ones that you already have, there'll be new features and abilities that are going to come to those. And the more, I think we're really at the start. I think over the next probably year, within this year, you're going to see some really big advancements in smart home technology because of that protocol that I was talking about earlier. And I won't get into the technical details of it, but it's basically your devices are all going to start communicating with each other in a better way. And that's even some things that may not be Amazon, Google Home devices or Apple devices. They're all going to be able to start working together a little bit better. We'll see how that works out. But
you're going to have board meetings and they're going to have, right, campouts and stuff without us too.
They're all going to talk about us. Yeah.
Did you see what she was wearing? Oh my goodness.
Do you know what Greg was listening to the other day?
That's right. Send the Echo to the Alexa. Alexa's like, Winnie, you may not wear that outfit. We have sent it to dry clean or whatever. They'll control us completely. I don't know. Will be interesting to see. That's a show idea.
Yeah. I mean, the robots are going to take over eventually. So, this is just the start. Might as well get used to it now.
Absolutely.
So there we go. So that's some Amazon hardware. But, we were talking about streaming and October being tomorrow, which is already crazy. We wanted to also talk to everybody about some new shows that are coming out this next month. And there's a ton of them, a ton of things coming out over this next month. Winnie, I know that you've got some specifically that you picked out. I guess we didn't talk about who wants to start, but do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So as you know, it's always fun. We're going into a new month, and this was actually Greg's idea, and I love this idea. So what we try to do is we try to get you in front of the next month and tell you what's coming, what's streaming soon that you might want to put on your list of things to watch. Let me tell you, I love this because ever since we've been doing this concept, Greg, I've been writing down your show ideas. But what I've decided to do starting this month, if you're all good with this, is I'm going to tackle some of children programming, kid programming, okay? And I'm going to let Greg go ahead and take us into adult programming because that makes it really fun. And that way you know what to expect. Now, here's the thing. All the shows that I have actually included are going to be either G-rated or PG-rated, okay? So there's many things that not only will your children enjoy, but in many cases, you're going to enjoy watching with them. So here's what we've got so far that's coming. So Disney Plus has some really cool shows coming up. There's a whole bunch of them, but I'm going to just highlight sort of the big one. One of the big ones coming that's actually coming tomorrow is the Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales, okay? This is a new show, by Lego. Should be a lot of fun. And I know my kids love Lego. Who doesn't like Lego? I'm guessing even Greg, you even like Lego. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
100%.
I have friends that own more Legos than my kids combined. So this is really cool. And if you love Star Wars, this is definitely going to pull your heartstrings on a lot of ways. This is on Disney Plus. Many of you are Disney Plus subscribers. This is one I would put on the list. As you know, also, Curtis actually showed me two more. We're not going to show you previews of this, but you can just add this to your list too. Black Widow is coming, and this will be completely free to everybody on October 6th, also on Disney Plus. And Muppets Haunted Mansion will be on October 8th. Perfect in time for Halloween. But see, this Lego Star Wars, I think this is really cool. I just love the way they do the stop motion with the Lego people and everything. It's so cute. Actually, it's probably not stop motion. I think a lot of it's animated these days, right, Greg? But
I think so on how they're doing that. But I'm not entirely sure. But I really like the Lego movies as well. I mean, and it's Star Wars, so
yeah,
it
can't go
pretty
wrong.
Good combo. Yeah,
kind of relaxing television, not stressful.
Right.
And we've got some really great ones for those of you who are Netflix fans. I know in my house, everyone's our family's a big Netflix family. We love this. And one of the shows I want to put on your radar too is called we'll see Lego. We almost have to watch this because it's so entertaining. But there's one that's called A Tale of Dark and Grim. This is season 1, and it's a brand new animated kids series, and it's based on Hansel and Gretel. It's really cool, and this starts on October 8th. So you see, you cannot. This see animated cartoons have come a long way. For those of you who haven't watched these in a while, you might still be used to anime cartoons looking like the old Disney cartoons. Look at how cool these are. This is now an animated series, looks as nice as those DreamWorks movies and Pixar movies that we're used to seeing on the big screen. So really cool. I see Crossix Fighter is joining us on YouTube live saying that Lego movies looks really, really interesting. Absolutely. Vicky is always saying that she loves Lego movie. Yeah, and this one I think is a really fun one for those of you who are parents out there. I know a lot of our audience from Modern Mom is here today. Definitely put this on your radar. Let me know what you think. I like it how they're using an old concept, an old fairy tale, and revamping it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that does look pretty cool. I mean, the animation looks really great on it.
Are you going to watch it though?
I don't know.
You won't watch it. All right. Well, here's another one that I don't. You might. Okay, here's another one I don't think Greg is going to watch, but I definitely want to put on the radar for those of you who are parents. And that is just in time for Halloween. Is a Shark Dog has a new fantastic Halloween. Now, this is definitely something for younger kids. So my youngest is 8 years old. He's not quite yet ready for full-on scary stuff yet. This is a great, really cute thing for Halloween. So I would just say if you're looking for something safe and fun to watch with your kids, the Shark Dog Fantastic Halloween is probably going to be on our list. So definitely check that out. Now, I'm going to end here with one more, Greg, before I transfer this over to you, because I know a lot of people out there now are watching Peacock. Now, you may know that American Express recently has a deal now where they will actually reimburse some entertainment costs for their card holders. And one of the categories is entertainment, and you can actually subscribe to Peacock. That's how I get my Peacock. And there is a show on there. I am so excited. Okay, now we've watched some of this on Netflix already, but some of you who don't have Netflix might be like, I want to watch some of these shows, but it's not on there. This is an awesome one. I'm curious, Greg, if you've seen this. It's called Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. This, my friends, is a total winner of a show. And now it's on Peacock starting in October. And let me just tell you, it starts Neil Patrick Harris amongst many other top name celebrities. This thing is a total winner. It's kind of got that Harry Potter feel to it. Have you seen it, Greg?
I have not. I mean, I watched the movie. I have not seen the series. I will definitely watch this.
This is so good. Okay, so
and Neil Patrick Harris, like you said, I mean, he's always
legend. Yeah, the guy is genius in this series. And I will tell you, I would suggest you try not to binge watch this because it's so good that I would love to see you do maybe one show a day or one show a weekend because it's that good. And some of the you almost want to rewatch some of the episodes. It's that good.
That's great. I have a hard time on the non-binging, but I think that's a good idea. Just set it like one a day, make it last one a day longer.
This is one that adults and kids are gonna equally like. I'm pretty sure this is PG. Okay, this is not like Snow White or anything. This is kind of edgy, but let me tell you, it is so it's just so brilliant. I mean, it's like when we first read Harry Potter for the first time, you're like, wow, this is so like, this show though, if you haven't seen this, and I know a lot of you haven't seen this, because I've actually been asking a lot of people haven't seen this. Now you can watch this on both Netflix, which is already on Netflix, but it's also on Peacock starting in October. So there's really no excuse not to see this.
Very cool. Yeah, I will absolutely be watching that one. And I was unaware of it until you just told me. So that's a great recommendation. I mean, all those are really good, and especially the Lego Star Wars one as well. So did you have any more, or were those your?
Those are my choices, Greg. I mean, there's one more. I think, okay, let me answer one more. There's also a show coming on Peacock. I don't have a clip for you, but it's called Create the Escape. So starting October 7th, there's a new series coming on Peacock where you can learn how to build your own escape room. So I think this will be really cool. Kids can learn how to build their own escape rooms and everything. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And just so you know, if you're looking for a budget streaming service, I think Peacock is a great option because at least for October, what I saw, there's a lot of great programming coming in October that I think might be Really great for the entire family. Adults, there's a lot of scary adult movies in there for Halloween too, so that could be kind of nicely creepy.
Nice.
Hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, definitely Peacock. I've been watching a lot more things on that too, so I'll be checking all of those out. So I know, you've, and this is how you said, we're going to be doing it going forward. Is you're going to cover the kids programming. Mine is not so kid safe, so I'm just going to tell you that right now. Well, one of them is, but
That's okay.
two of them are not, and that's what I wanted to highlight. Just some of the things that are coming out, and a lot of it has to do with HBO Max. If you're a subscriber of that, you know that Warner Brothers said, and they're doing this. They've been doing it all year. They're releasing their big, blockbuster movies in the theater at the same time as streaming on HBO Max. And they're doing that through the end of the year. And we get a couple more this month that are along those lines. And the first one is out tomorrow. I'll be watching it tomorrow because I'm a huge fan of The Sopranos, but it's the prequel to The Sopranos, The Many Saints of Newark. It's one of those movies, one of those ideas that's been talked about for years and years and years that they really going to do a series, but they finally came out with this movie. It takes place in the 70s, I think 60s and 70s in Newark. It's Tony Soprano as a kid, but it's actually James Gandolfini's son playing the same character. And he looks so much like him. It's uncanny. I mean, I guess, it is his son, but it's weird how much he looks like him and the mannerisms that he has down of the same thing that his dad had. So I am so stoked for this. Again, not for kids, but if you're a Sopranos fan, this is like a must watch, I think.
Yeah, it's on my list too, Greg. I'm excited. Thank you so much for highlighting that. Yeah, I think a lot of people are excited to see this.
Yeah, out tomorrow. So there's that one. Another one, like I said, theaters straight into streaming as well. Dune's also later in the month. That's another big one that I know a lot of people are going to watch. But I've got that one. I've got two more here that I wanted to highlight. This next one is something that I think everybody can watch. And it's going to be on Netflix, and it's called Baking Impossible. And it's this concept of taking essentially a lot of builders and engineers who just can build all kinds of contraptions. And then you take top end chefs and you combine them together to somehow make food that's worked into contraptions and then compete against each other. So it's a strange concept. It's like taking two shows and mashing them together.
Yes, I love this idea. This is on my list too. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you mentioned this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Looking at it, I don't think any of those things are anything that anybody really needs, but it's still cool to see what they do. What you get when you match up two people who are really, really good at specific things and then see how they can combine them. I mean, just looking at this trailer, some of the weird stuff that they've come up with on it, it's looks cool to me.
I love these competition shows. They're really fun to watch, and like you kind of get into it. I agree. This one is definitely one that could go in both our categories. So thank you, Greg, for sharing that. My kids love this kind of stuff. I love watching stuff. And I gotta say, I've seen some episodes with this concept and this host. And I really like this host.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be cool.
It's going to be super cool.
Looking forward to that. I think that's October 7th or somewhere around there. So it'll be the first part of the month that'll come out, at least for the first half of it. So pretty cool with that one. And then I have one more, and there is a lot. I just want to say this. There's a lot that's coming out in October. So if anybody has recommendations for a show or series, please drop those into the comments and let us know. I always want to find out about things because there's so much. It's hard to keep track of it all. But since it is Halloween, I wanted to show that there is going to be another Paranormal Activity movie. This is the 7th one. It's called Next of Kin, and it's going also straight to streaming on Paramount Plus. So they're so they're going to be putting that out. If you've watched the Paranormal Activity series, they're pretty well done as far as that very first one. It's a lot of the found footage kind of idea. This one combines that with some flashbacks to some creepy pioneers and kids or something that they weave into it. It seems like they're using this as a jumping off point for going in a different direction for the whole series, but it's out just in time for Halloween. They specifically wanted to get it out for that. So if you're looking for a scary movie, this one looks like it could definitely be it.
I love it. Well, the Pioneer Time is very scary. And by the way, I know we didn't mention this, but I want to tell you there's a ton of also new content on Amazon Prime as well. So I know we're going live on Amazon Prime right now. There was a whole list of them, and really, I think it'll be really fun for you to check out for those of you who are Prime subscribers. But these are some great ideas, Greg. I'm excited. it's nice to see. I kind of like all these like kind of spooky Halloween themed shows coming. It makes the whole month kind of different and fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so much that's coming out. Netflix has a bunch of horror movies that they're going to be putting out, special releases for the month. And you mentioned Amazon Prime. They are as well. There's a whole bunch of new ones. There is a series on Amazon Prime that's coming out based on I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't know if you remember that movie with
Yes.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, right? Yeah, it was Jennifer Love Hewitt. So they've got a series that's now set in the current time that's going to be based on that. So that's going to be coming out on Amazon Prime as well. So there's just all kinds of good stuff this month. And that's why it's always nice just hearing what other people's recommendations are too, like what you're interested in, what you want to see or watch. Or there's so many, little niche shows that maybe haven't been discovered by a lot of people yet that are so good. And I love hearing recommendations on that stuff.
I love it. Yeah. We definitely see a lot of your comments coming in on Amazon Live. We see a lot of you. Thank you so much for those of you joining us at Amazon Live. It's really fun for us because it's a new platform. And so Greg and I are just testing out. And so far, it's been a lot of fun to be able to communicate and share these different ideas. And I know all through I know, you, Greg, you've been on Digital Trends forever. You're one of the top tech reporters. I mean, definitely in my book, you're number one. But some of you may not be as familiar with Greg, but he is definitely the real deal. And it's so cool because now when Greg talks about something, we can actually share it on Amazon at the same time. So you can see exactly the intricacies, the details, the numbers, the specs, the sizing of the things that Greg is talking about. Plus, I will tell you, I've heard this, Greg, from viewers. They've actually messaged me and said they say they love this new platform because sometimes they'll hear you talk about something and then they'll forget about it. But this way, they can have their window open, they can click around it, and then I've actually heard a couple of viewers, they've been saving things that we've been talking about too. So, Greg, it's really fun. So I'm hoping you enjoy it because I love sharing this experience with you for sure. It's super fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's that interactivity, right, that we get to do with this. That's just so cool on all the platforms. But yeah, with Amazon, you can take a look at it, throw it into your shopping cart or save it for later and go back and investigate it a little bit more, or check out some of the other things that are spinoffs of some of the stuff we talk about. There's just so much you can do with it. And it's really great. And I really want to say thank you to everybody who's been joining, wherever you're watching, however you're watching. We just really appreciate it. It's so much fun. And even when we're not on the air, hearing from everybody as well, who writes us or sends us messages, we're always around and available for that. So we appreciate it a lot, especially when you have recommendations or sending me links to things that you think I should check out. I'm all about it. Definitely want to see that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, our direct messages are open on any platform that you're joining us from. Definitely send us a direct message, or you can post us and just tag us at Greg Nibbler, at Winnie Sun. We always like to hear your comments. Plus, I want to say, Greg, Vicky, she's joining us on Facebook Live, and she's like, are you guys doing a Halloween show? And we absolutely are going to be doing a Halloween show, right, Greg?
Definitely.
I mean, especially since you have spoken, Vicky. But yeah, I think we're going to plan something special. I do know that particular week, we're not going live on that Thursday, Greg, but I know it's going to be another day, but we'll make it special, and we'll let you know ahead of time.
We'll figure it out. It'll be somewhere around there, and we'll let everybody know, but definitely a Halloween special. That's got to be. Ooh, I'm already thinking.
Of course, we got to do it. Let's see what Greg dresses up as.
Oh, okay. I know already what I'm going to be, but I will save that. I'll save it for it'll be a surprise.
That's good because I have no idea what I'm going to be. So send me ideas. Send me suggestions.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, what do you dress as? So that'll be fun. And and just like we always said, we're here every week, and we just appreciate everybody tuning in and being a part of it. And it's so much fun doing this. And we'll be back next week too with another episode. So everybody hit subscribe, share the show, let us know what you think. And Winnie, I think that's it.
I think that's a wrap. Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.